the NBA released the first 10 games for the Atlanta Hawks. And I just got to be honest, I'm looking at the first 10, and the first couple should be automatic wins for the Hawks.
What? When we're talking about no, the first five. Like,
The first five.
how you gonna start? Maybe Charlotte may give him some fits, but really, Houston, Orlando, and Detroit. Houston 15, Orlando number 15, the 2022 standings, and Detroit number 14. What are we talking about? And those three teams I just mentioned, did they make any major adjustments aside from added draft picks? Like Atlanta Hawks, I talked about the Clippers skating into the at the beach into the season. Oh, trust me, Atlanta Hawks, if they lose any of these first five games, I'm gonna say y'all need to revamp your roster. Really? Come on. Not with the addition of Dejounte Murray. Stop.
Yes,
Stop.
yes. Now, the only game that I have circled within the first five is the game against the Charlotte Hornets. They will be they will be at home in Atlanta. The
Yeah,
thing is, though, if I'm Trae Young, I'm like, I can get up for a LaMelo Ball matchup.
I
You
can do
know,
that. I can do that. I can get up for a LaMelo Ball matchup. But Houston, Orlando, and Detroit, you know what? I'm sorry. I hope these teams really show out in 2023. But what they produced in 2022, Atlanta Hawks, y'all know y'all need to come in. These should be easy scrimmage wins for you guys. It just should be easy.
yes, the first five. But if
The
you
first
look
five,
at
yeah,
the next five,
baby.
right? Game 6 through 10. Now we're talking. Now, okay, it's like, all right, now I got to play the Bucks. You got all my attention right now
Wait a minute though.
because
They play the Bucks in the pre. They play two games to the Bucks in the preseason. Now I don't know who the Bucks don't have on the floor during the preseason, but they
mhm,
played the Bucks twice in the preseason, and then they got to play them again twice again in the first 10. Like what? And to be honest, if they don't get up for any other game, they need to get up for the Bucks because they will have to go through the Bucks if they think about even advancing in any time of any way in the postseason. They're going to go through the Bucks. Once the postseason,
absolutely.
if they make it to the postseason, they will be playing the Bucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, oh, this is so what the benefit of this particular um first 10 schedule for the Hawks is that it gives them time to get themselves together for the first five because they need to be all cylinders by the next five.
Absolutely. What I notice most is I don't see any nationally televised games for the Hawks in the first 10.
Not a
What is that about? The NBA, they do not believe DeJounte Murray and Trae Young is, capable of moving the crowd in the first 10?
they wrong for that. When I
Yeah.
tell you they are so wrong. If this is what I'm talking about with this talk on these national televised games. Now the Atlanta Hawks, they were number 8 in the East for 2022. The Lakers were what number?
See?
And if you look at their schedule, half of their games are televised, nationally televised. I said, oh,
Hmm.
stop it. There has to be some type of level playing field when it comes to nationally televised games. And I figure if you're not top, one of the benefits of being nationally televised, in my opinion, should be that you are at least top 8. That you at least made it to the playoffs. If you make it to the playoffs, you will have more televised games than the other teams. I don't care what your franchise have done, and I don't care how historic it is. But if you didn't make it to the playoffs the previous season, then you should have a scaled back number of nationally televised games. So yeah, this is wrong. They can at least in NBA TV stop it. Not nationally televised.
Cut
It
it
ain't. It's
out,
not.
huh?
Cut it out. Cut it out. So yeah, if you don't have league pass, you're not watching
It's a
the Atlanta Hawks
shame.
first 10 games. That's what you won't be doing.
It's a shame. Another game that I have circled within the first 10 is the game against the Toronto Raptors. They got to go up to Canada and show out, in front of Fred Van Fleet, and oh my God, one of my favorite pickups. Y'all know I love Scotty Barnes, but still Gary Trent Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
because he plays in the backcourt, because he's going to have to, play against, who are you going to play against? Oh, yeah, because he's going to have to play against Trae and Dejounte Murray. We talking about Fred Van Fleet and Gary Trent Jr. in the backcourt. Oh, that is must-see TV for me, even though the NBA doesn't believe that it is.
Clearly, they don't believe that
Mhm.
it is. And you know what, though? Honestly, one of the two, I have two games. I had the Bucks, of course, because they had to play them twice. So I'm like, what will this Atlanta Hawks team do? And it's they're gonna have to prove something against the Bucks. Again, they got to go through. If they want to go deep in the playoffs, they have to go through the Bucks. So that's number one. So that I have them as a team. That's the two games, right, within the first 10. It's two, one, two. Yes, two games. And then the Knicks is another one. I have the Knicks because of the pickup of Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson, what will that add, and how will the Hawks fare against that Knicks
Yeah.
new
RJ
structure?
Barrett. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I would think that the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks would be kind of like a comparable matchup. So I'm looking to see what that looks like. So yeah, those are the two
Ooh.
that I'm really circling to check out.
Okay. Really interested to see how John Collins and Clint Capella can stop Zion Williamson in the middle because he's coming. And I'm telling you, if they are not ready, oh, Zion's going to have a massive 45-point game.
Against the Pels, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So their first five, walking the dog in the park, just easy, a little breezy. That
Very.
next five, it's gonna put some fire under them, and they're gonna have to really, because this is gonna be the catalyst on how, for me, things can happen as the season progresses. But I'm gonna be saying, if y'all can't get it up, you got to show me something. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough next five for sure.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some of the challenges that you see here. Now, we know the first five is going to be fairly easy, 3 at home, 2 away in Detroit, in a like kind of back-to-back situation, Detroit two-step, but the thing is, when the Atlanta Hawks play against the larger backcourts, we talking about Cade Cunningham in Detroit at 6'6", LaMelo Ball 6'7", and Trae Young is only 6'1", and Dejounte is only 6'4". So clearly, the bigger backcourts may have the advantage.
Maybe not on for Trae Young, because Trae Young has range. So he gets by because of his range. And I think that he can shoot over you. He can shoot over anybody.
Anywhere on the court, just anywhere.
So yeah, his range gets him. I would like to see how, one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing is really how the pairing between Trae Young and Dejounte Murray really works. Looks good on paper. I'm excited about the pickup, but let's talk about that ball. What would that look like? And I'll be able to see that in the first, 10 on how they'll be able to manage that, because Dejounte Murray was the primary ball handler, if I'm not mistaken, when he's with the Spurs.
Yep.
So
he held it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just see how that works. And we all know that Trae Young, the Atlanta Hawks, is his franchise, right? So I just want to see what that looks like. And I think that could potentially be a challenge if they don't figure it out early. And I believe they will. I believe they have the mindset to do it. That's what I've been reading. But when what you say and what you do is sometimes two different things. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. And I hope it doesn't present itself to be a challenge as the season progresses.
Okay, so looking at the first 10 for the Atlanta Hawks, I mean, what's your predictions? I mean, how are they going to come out of this?
I have them going 6-4. 6-4. I believe their losses will be to the Bucks, Toronto, New Orleans Pelicans, and the Bucks again. They will lose both matchups to the Bucks.
Yeah, probably. They're just too big, too strong. A seasoned team, been around the block several times. How do you beat the Bucks? Yeah. I actually have the Atlanta Hawks going 5-5 on their first 10.
Oh,
I see them splitting their matchups with the Detroit Pistons. I think Cade Cunningham, having missed most of last season, I think he'll be, ready. And then I have them losing to the Bucks twice, the Toronto Raptors and the New Orleans Pelicans, because you just got to adjust for Zion Williamson coming down the paint.
Yeah, but not only Zion Williamson, then we're talking about, okay, what? What? They got CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. Like, you want the length of Brandon Ingram being, you going to stop that length? I'm like, yeah, y'all have to go something. The Pels, that's good. I can't believe that you have them splitting Detroit. Interesting.
Yeah. The Pistons, I think, last season, if we look at last season, it was basically a joke, right? But next season, they got some pretty good players in the draft.
The Hawks did do a nice upgrade to their roster for this season. I will give them that. So I think the hope for them to see at least a playoff berth, not through the play-in, but a solid play-in team, a solid playoff team is possible for them. I mean, think about it. They added both the holidays. They picked up Frank, that just came off of an injury with the Suns. So now he's on their roster as another center position that they can play with. And then they have Timothy they added to their roster. So I think the Hawks did a good job this postseason, just trying to fill in holes they may have had on their roster. I know that Trae Young is their superstar. He is the face. He is the engine, but he, as small as he is, he just can't do it by himself, and you got your John Collins, Clint Capella, and all that. But there were some pieces that were missing. And I think they identified that when they did not even barely made it to the play-in tournament for the 2022 season. So I think with the added pieces that they were able to acquire this off season really should help shape what they look like for the 2023 season. And hopefully we'll see a replay, if you will, of what they did in 2021. So